CTV News at 5 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. So glad you could be with us on this Friday, August 8th. This morning, Sudbury's Mayor Paul LaFive provided an update on the old St. Joseph's Health Centre. CTV's Madison Merrier has more.
I am very pleased to announce that the City of Greater Sudbury this morning has officially issued a demolition permit for the former Sudbury General Hospital. Yes. The demolition permit is only good for 12 months, so they got to get going.
This building has been a polarizing subject for Sudburyans since it was closed down in 2010, and Paramedic Properties purchased the site with plans of creating housing.
I think people are tired to see this decrepit building there, and I'll be honest with you, in my discussions with the developer, they also want to see it move forward. So finally, I think we've certainly, city wanted to make sure that this was a priority. We made sure that it was a priority for the developer, and we're anxious that it be brought down.
There are a lot of memories with the old hospital, but I am glad to see it finally coming down. It's overdue, but the main thing is that it does come down.
I feel like it needs to go. It's been broken windows. We've been hearing of lots of people getting in there. It's just dangerous and a hazard to the society.
The St. Joseph's site became the world's largest mural in 2019, but has been through a lot in the last 6 years. There was vandalism, a body found inside the building 3 months ago, then a fire shortly after. There's been little progress on demolition or construction from Paramedic Properties.
Original plans that were submitted by the developer at the time, I guess, weren't completely consistent with their long-term vision. So they've rehashed those, they've redeveloped them and redesigned them into what will be 3 residential towers here on this site.
CTV News reached out to Paramedic Properties, however, they did not respond to us by our deadline. According to the city, in conversations with the developer, the company plans on beginning construction on the residential units as soon as demolition is completed. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Well, the heat is on once again in the northeast. A heat warning is in place as temperatures are on the rise in many parts of our broadcast region. For more details, let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman. Rick.
Okay, Tony, you mentioned heat warning. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning as well. Manitoulin Island, heavy rainfall warning for this afternoon. And of course, we'll take a look at what's happening with CAA. Get your membership today. Your first take on weather. Get your membership today at caa.ca. Everything that you see in red, of course, has to do with the heat warning. That means temperatures over 30, humidex reading anywhere from 35 to 40. And of course, you know, so many variables going into it. So for the next couple of days, it'll be warm. Details coming up. 5-day forecast moments away. Tony?
Thanks for that, Rick. There's new information in the investigation into North Bay Mayor Peter Chirico's expenses. Chirico has been directed to stop performing duties related to the North Bay Police Services Board until further notice. The order coming from the Inspector General of Policing, who is investigating the mayor's $16,000 in personal expenses charged to his city-issued credit card. Chirico has not been removed from the board but cannot perform any of the duties as a board member. This comes after the Northern Ontario Heritage Fund Corporation announced earlier this week that he was no longer on its board. More than $300,000 in illegal cannabis was seized in Greater Sudbury from an illegal dispensary known as the Red Eyes. Police say their investigation began earlier this summer when they received a complaint that the Red Eyes had sold cannabis products to a 13-year-old. Yesterday, police executed a warrant and arrested a male suspect while he was making deliveries. A subsequent search of a Rutherglen Crescent home netted police 200 pounds of dried cannabis, as well as edibles, vape pens, and hashish. North Bay police have arrested 2 people in an ongoing trafficking investigation. The man and woman from the Toronto area were picked up after a police investigation revealed they were allegedly driving the drugs from Southern Ontario to North Bay with the intent to sell. Roughly $14,000 in cash and drugs were seized along with their vehicle. A 49-year-old woman and a 37-year-old man have been charged with trafficking and possession of proceeds obtained by crime. The legal saga continues for a Sudbury man charged with the second-degree murder of his wife. The court case for Hatinder Sharma was back before a judge today. The 37-year-old had pleaded guilty in March, but a few months later asked to have that struck from the record. He and his lawyer at the time parted ways. Then he tried to get legal aid, but was denied. The next step is a Roe Botham application, where government funding can be requested for a lawyer when someone charged with a serious crime is denied legal aid. Sharma's current counsel requested a date for the plea withdrawal motion to be heard, but the Crown is concerned Sharma's lawyer would step down once the plea is struck. The case is back in court September 19th. Today, the Minister of Labour, Immigration, Training and Skills Development was in Sudbury to announce a major provincial investment in the northern workforce, a $13 million investment to help train in-demand jobs in the face of U.S. tariffs. CTV's Alana Everson reports.
David Piccini says the $13 million investment in training in Northern Ontario is about building a world-class workforce that can face any challenge.
We've seen with President Trump's tariffs how one leader can destabilize things. And so for us, we need to be self-sufficient. That's what we're doing. To do it, you need to have a well-trained workforce to power tomorrow, to unlock those critical minerals, support the mines. And that's what we're doing, is training them for better jobs with bigger paychecks. The Boilermakers Local 128 received over $5 million to help with the build of a state-of-the-art training facility in Sudbury.
The announcement from Minister Piccini is outstanding for several reasons. We are literally busting at the seams at our existing facility that we've been at in Sudbury for 30 years now. We're going to double our capacity in welding. We're going to multiply our training that we can do within the facility year-round.
4 other organizations in Northern Ontario received the balance of the funding to deliver free training in sectors affected by U.S. tariffs and policies.
I mean, it's all about better training for better jobs with bigger paychecks. That's what we're on a mission to do. We want Canada, Ontario to be the economic engine, a leader on a global stage. To do it, you got to have those training opportunities.
The minister says a $13 million investment through the Skills Development Funding, Training and Capital streams will help over 1,000 workers in Northern Ontario prepare for in-demand jobs in boilermaking, welding, mining and ironworking sectors. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
A celebration of life is being held tomorrow for Cécile Dionne, one of the Dionne quintuplets. Mourners are being invited to the Dionne Quince Museum. There will be music and a registry book to sign that will be delivered to Annette, the lone survivor sister, next week. Born in Corbeil, Cécile and her sisters became a global sensation in 1934. They were believed to be the first quintuplets to survive past infancy. Cécile was 91 years old. Time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Rick has your full weather forecast. First, let's head to Sault Ste. Marie and the International Bridge. It's 27 degrees, but it feels like 37. We'll be back after this commercial break.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Just thinking, I do that at times. This could be one of the warmest weekends of the summer. Humidex values through the roof beginning tomorrow and, of course, continuing into Sunday. Let's take a look at the forecast radar. Some precipitation, severe thunderstorm warning for Manitoulin Island, Gorbet area right now, but of course that will subside. Lots of rain in the area over the course of the afternoon, and of course you'll see remnants of this over the course of the weekend. Of course, when you have a low pressure system, you've got the heat, humidity values, and more. Heat warning right across northeastern Ontario. What more can I say? It's going to be an interesting weekend. Sudbury Nickel Belt tomorrow, humidex of 39. Here we go, Sunday and Monday. Chance of showers both days, 31, and cooling off Tuesday, as I promised last night, 24 and 25 Tuesday and Wednesday, but you'll have to wait a couple of days for that. Meanwhile, in the Sioux and Algoma, humidex reading of 40. Yes, 40 degrees. Sunday, Monday, chance of showers, 27, 25. Bit of a cooling period here on Tuesday as well. The carryover from Monday and into Wednesday at 24. So again, chance of showers, but a little bit cooler. Timmins Cochrane campus casing, risk of a thunderstorm tomorrow, humidex of 40, chance of showers on Sunday, then some sun and cloud Monday at 26, cooling off to 25 Tuesday and 22 by next Wednesday. Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, humidex of 39 tomorrow, mainly sunny, chance of showers for a couple of days at 32 and 30, then the cool down to 24 on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So again, there will be a break in the higher temperatures, but we'll have to wait until at least Tuesday. North Bay, West Nipissing, humidex of 40. Wow, 40 degrees for tomorrow. Here we go with the chance of showers on Sunday. 31, again, 31 degrees on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, cooling off to 24 both days with the chance of showers. So that's pretty well the outlook for the next couple of days. Some high humidex readings Saturday and Sunday, and gradually tapering off and cooling down by Tuesday. Tony, ready for this one? This is going to be an interesting weekend. Like I said, could be one of the warmest weekends of the summer.
Oh, thanks so much for that, Rick. Well, a note for North Bay Hydro customers, especially those along O'Brien Street. Next Tuesday, the utility is undertaking a full electrical infrastructure rebuild from McEwen Avenue to Airport Road. Some of the work includes installing poles and transformers and removing some of the old infrastructure. Commuters are being warned there could be road closures on weekdays. Construction is expected to wrap up in late September. In Temiskaming Shores, 2 proposed wind turbine projects are generating plenty of conversations. One of the projects is on the outskirts of the city, while the second is in between 2 rural townships. CTV's Eric Tashner has more.
Wanting to learn more, farmers and landowners are getting their chance to speak to ABO Energy and Horizon New Energy about their wind turbine plans.
Just here to learn and see what each company has to offer.
There are 2 projects being proposed in the Temiskaming Shores area. ABO Energy's Temiskaming Wind Project would see approximately 18 to 24 wind turbines built in this section highlighted in green. Permitting approval, construction would start at the end of 2028 with a plan to be operational by April 2030.
There's significant tax benefits back to the municipalities over the 20-year expected lifetime, initial lifetime of the project. That will be in the millions of dollars.
That's positive, but again, we have to take everything into consideration.
Meanwhile, Horizon New Energy's 25 to 30 turbine project would be built in Hudson and Kearns townships on private agricultural land with a similar timeline in place.
One of the things that we'd like to undertake, if we can get some funding from the province, would be risk assessment.
The company says its annual community benefit fund would equal to about $375,000 to $500,000 for a project that size, with money allocated to each municipality based on the number of turbines located in their boundaries.
There's about a year to a year and a half of environmental studies that are done that we use to figure out where the best place to put turbines.
The project, however, is not without its opposition. Some local farmers telling CTV News they have concerns regarding the impact to agriculture and farmland.
The overall layout of the wind turbine installations is not quite clear to our group. As concerned residents, it would be nice to be able to have a little bit more information in terms of the placement.
A typical turbine with an access road, because you need to be able to get to the turbine, will take up between 0.5 to 1 acre of land in total.
Both projects need to be submitted for tender to the province by mid-October. However, there's certain criteria that needs to be met first, which includes support from municipalities.
We haven't really come to a full decision as a council.
Which means councils will have to make a decision very soon if these turbines are going to meet those laid out targets. Eric Tashner, CTV News, New Liskeard.
The province is spending millions coming up on CTV News at 5. The Ford government is hoping to keep more seniors out of hospital and get care in their homes.
Well, Love Local returns again, and this week at one of Sudbury's favorite farms, Northern Legacy Horse Farm in Whitefish. I'm Coop from Pure Country 91.7 in Sudbury, here with Katrina, one of the owners of Northern Legacy Horse Farm. All right, Katrina, tell us about Northern Legacy Horse Farm. How long have you guys been in existence for?
We've been here for about 20 years now.
For those who might be unfamiliar with you guys, what exactly do you do here?
We do a lot of breeding of horses, as you can see behind you, and we do a lot of showing of horses as well, local and in the States.
And I want to mention, this is a massive property that you guys have. Again, for those who might not be familiar with you guys, how many horses do you have on this huge property?
Let's say about 50.
About 50
Yes.
horses. Unreal. First of all, what's the support like from the community for you guys?
Everyone's always willing to come out, help out in any way they can, from grass cutting to moving things to anywhere and everywhere. Whatever we need, they're willing to help. It's a great community.
Let's talk about the shows, because you've hosted some really cool ones.
Yeah.
The RCMP musical ride happened just last year here on this property. That must have been a highlight.
That's always a highlight, and we hope to host it again in about 4 years' time from now. They have a rotation that they do, so we're hoping that they'll come back.
And the other shows that you do, I know you do regular shows here as well.
We have 2 shows coming up actually next weekend and the following weekend, and it's a local show where everyone's invited to come and watch or come and participate in as well. So there's a lot of local jumping, and it starts from the grassroots, so from the ground up to the bigger jumps as well.
And I know you guys also have the Bark Bus here. Maybe tell us about that.
Okay, so the Bark Bus, we use our old horse trailer. We go up north and we help different rescues in the movement of the dogs. So far we've done about 7,200 dogs.
That's amazing. So let's look down the road a little bit for Northern Legacy Horse Farm. What do you see for the future of this amazing place?
Well, I see us growing still. We're also, we always try to move into different directions a little bit, refine things as we go. Our breeding will get even more refined as we figure out what we like best. And then I think there's going to be a little bit more of rescuing in the future.
Now, for those who want to find more information about you guys, where can they go?
If they go to northernlegacyhorsefarm.com.
Tune in next week to find out where else we'll be with Love Local.
Thanks for that, Brian. An influx of funding is making a temporary long-term care strategy a permanent reality. As CTV's Amanda Hicks tells us, the program will help keep seniors at home and lighten the load on emergency services.
The Community Paramedicine for Long-Term Care program provides 24/7 access to non-emergency support so more seniors can age safely in their own homes. It provides routine diagnostic procedures, at-home treatments, and remote monitoring. The program is now permanent and is expanding services in First Nations communities thanks to an $89 million investment from the province. Timmins Mayor Michelle Boileau, who also serves as chair of the Northern Ontario Service Delivers Association, says the organization has been advocating for this for 4 years.
It's been helping alleviate wait lists in long-term care. It's been helping alleviate visits to emergency departments across the region, something that is, of course, of importance to many of our communities. And so we know that this is working.
All community paramedic programs are funded, meaning the municipality does not pay for them, so our tax base isn't impacted. These are savings. These are programs that are saving to our healthcare system in general.
Just last year, community paramedics helped 13,000 people in Sudbury, either in person or by phone. There are 4 community paramedics who work during the day and 1 at night. Roni says the service is reducing the strain on emergency services.
What we're seeing is an increase in people who are able to stay at home, less 911 calls for those non-urgent patients. So instead of calling 911, these patients are calling their community paramedic for their low acuity and non-urgent needs.
Roni adds news of the program's permanence allows for long-term planning, ensuring consistent care to those who need it most. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
Construction continues in Timmins on the Connecting Links project. The project is repairing the road through Timmins that connects to the provincial highway. The project is partially funded by the province and includes repaving the roadways as well as upgrading underground services, street and traffic lights, and sidewalks. Currently, the city is working on what it calls Segment 13, Herald Avenue from Crawford Street to the Porcupine River Bridge.
The piece of highway in between Crawford and Porcupine River Bridge was at its end of serviceable life. The water main that ran there was at one of the worst water mains in town for water main breaks, and there was not a lot of potential redundancy for any potential development in that area. So we took this opportunity with the MTO funding to rehabilitate the roadway, and as well to invest our own city tax dollars to upsize the water main, and that way we could allow for future growth into the east end.
Segment 13 will take 2 years to complete and has a price tag of nearly $22 million. A North Bay powerlifter set a new world record at the World University Powerlifting Cup in Istanbul, Turkey a few weeks ago. Tihana Draves was representing Swansea University, winning the gold medal in the women's 84-kilogram classic division. She totaled more than 461.5 kilograms in the squat, bench press, and deadlift categories. Now she's hoping to continue her ascent in the sport at the Senior International Championships.
To be honest, I didn't know it was happening. I was convinced that I was second. I knew that I was probably going to beat a few records, but I wasn't too sure. So it was my first international meet, so I was just trying to stay calm, stay collected. It was an exciting journey. I'm happy I could do it. Yeah, I'm happy I could kind of be a different force in powerlifting, be a young woman that could do well.
Earlier this year, she posted personal bests at the British universities and colleges sport championships in the UK. It's a first. When we return, an African market is happening in Sudbury this weekend. You're watching First at 5. Sudbury's downtown is set to come alive with the vibrant sights, sounds, and flavors of Africa tomorrow as the city hosts its first African Market Connect trade fair. Organized by the nonprofit group African Market Connect, 19 vendors will set up at Tom Davies Square. The event is said to be the biggest African trade fair in Northern Ontario, created to support African businesses beyond the summer months. The market runs 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. tomorrow, and organizers say they plan on hosting an African market once a month. And if you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, you can email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. And there's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.